Hey guys, welcome to Bastion Time. I am your host, Bastion. This is, well, I don't know what this is. This is me reviewing or giving my random thoughts and opinions on Breath of the Wild's second DLC pack. Now, first things first, yes, I have not released a video in a billion years, but as I warned you in the last video of this sort, the non-streaming, non-let's play type videos, unfortunately, that's just how it's going to be. I'm only going to do videos of this type when I have something that I actually want to talk about, which lately hasn't really been that much. But finally, I do have something that I really want to talk about, which is the DLC for Breath of the Wild. And the first batch, I never really gave my thoughts and opinions on that, but the first batch was fine. It gave a lot of fun little tools, like the fact that you can watch not your entire trek as mapped around the world, but the last 200 hours or something like that. That's fine, whatever. Some new masks, a Karok mask that lets you hear. You know, the thing about the Karok mask, I have to admit, is I did not find it really the least bit helpful. Like, sometimes you have to be in really close proximity for it to actually activate. What I would have liked was some sort of ability to know if I was heading in the right direction. Not just if I was in the right vicinity, but like, whatever Karok that I have not yet discovered, whatever direction that's in, the closest one to me, I want it to sort of indicate go in this direction somehow, but it didn't really work like that. It was just like, oh, you're kind of near one, rattle, rattle, rattle. Not very helpful. So, in any case, there's that. There were several other things that I was just like, meh, about. I thought I was going to be really excited about... Here comes my dog, so hopefully he doesn't interrupt this or cause the tripod to fall over. Hello. So, he's right here. You can kind of see his head. Anyways, I was kind of excited about the quest, the trials for the Master Sword, or whatever the heck it was called at first, and I got through... I want to say like the first 2 tiers or 3 tiers, right? And with varying difficulty. And then finally when I got to like the last tier, I was like, I think I've had enough of this actually. I'll probably go back and replay it and get through that last tier, but I haven't yet. I also have not even attempted Master Mode because frankly, I don't care about that kind of thing. Like, sure, on Skyward Sword and Wind Waker HD, I did do the Master Mode versions of those kinds of things, but that's it. I'm not really super into that kind of thing. I'd rather have new shrines, which brings us to the second DLC pack, which is all about that, which I was super excited for, and sure enough, it lived up mostly to what I expected and wanted, which was more shrines, a brand new divine beast, I guess. I don't know what the heck this thing was supposed to be. It didn't really play out like a typical divine beast, but anyways, I really loved the structure of the new shrines. I liked that they weren't just like, hey, some new shrines have randomly appeared out of nowhere, now you can go do them, and once you've done them, you're done. Oh, great. He is going to make stuff fall if I'm not careful. Anyways, I love the fact that, you know, you had to do different quests to unlock those shrines, to make those shrines pop up, and that in so doing, you were able to do a variety of different kinds of things. I just really liked how it was structured, and the fact that they tied them all each to the different champions. The thing that I did not like, however, was the end of it. Sure, we had a big final boss, but after that, I felt like, well, what did I do all of that for anyway? What was the point of all of that? It didn't really affect me much, except it slightly leveled up each of my champion's abilities, but what I kind of thought was going to happen is I'd be able to play as the champions or something, or I don't know what I thought the end was going to be, but it certainly wasn't that. What I really kind of thought was it was going to unlock some sort of secret scene if you beat Ganon again. So I went ahead, and after I completed the Champion's Ballad, or whatever the heck it's called, I went and beat Ganon again. No, it was exactly the same. I just thought there was going to be something more at the end, and instead I kind of felt like, this was DLC. It didn't add anything substantial to the already existing story, in my opinion. So that was a little bit of a letdown, but I had a lot of fun. And frankly, if all they did for the next couple years was every 6 months put out another of these style of DLC packs where you get, you know, there were a ton of shrines. I was amazed at how many new shrines there were. There were like 3, and then 3 times 4 is 12, plus 3 more in the beginning, or 4 more in the beginning, so like 18, and then a divine beast. If they would do that like every 6 months, I would gladly pay $19.99 a year for just more of that every 6 months. So anyways, that's my basic thoughts and opinions on the second DLC. I enjoyed it, but I kind of wanted a little more from the end part of it. But now I want to talk about what I want from future DLC packs, if they go ahead and do such a thing. I would like to do what we all kind of thought we were going to be able to do, is play as those champions. Why the heck can we not do that? They've built the character models. All they have to do is map those onto Link's moveset, I would think, or, you know, tinker with it and come up with some new movesets or whatever. But it just seems like the obvious solution to the obvious, like, reward for I had to watch as he was crossing over a cord because he could have pulled the whole thing over. Anyways, sorry, my dog is very distracting. Another reason why I've not recorded many of these videos, to be honest with you, is he's quite a handful. Anyway, the point that I want to make is, in future DLCs, I feel like we should be able to use the champion amiibo and suddenly tag in as one of those 4 champion, the one for whom we have the amiibo. And that might seem a little cheap, like, oh great, now I have to go buy these amiibo, but it would be a lot of fun if, and it's not required, you don't have to play as these champions if you don't want to, but if you want to, you can do so. That seems like a great idea for a new DLC pack. I really thought that that's what we were going to be able to do at the end of this new one, but no such luck. As for future Zelda, today, I don't know when I'm putting this video out, but while I'm recording it, today Eiji Aonuma has said in an interview, yes, of course we are working on the next Zelda game, and in case you didn't know, that's how it always goes. As soon as they finish a Zelda game, they're working on the next one, brainstorming new concepts and whatnot. I mean, as soon as they finished Skyward Sword, they were working on Breath of the Wild. So, in any case, it's exciting to know that they are working on the next Zelda game. I kind of hope, and I know this sounds like a terrible idea at first, but I kind of hope they're just going to reuse the Breath of the Wild engine, assets, everything. Just do with whatever the next game is to Breath of the Wild, what they did to Ocarina of Time, which was Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask is just taking all of the exact same assets of Ocarina of Time and building a brand new game out of them. That's what I'd love for them to do with whatever's coming after Breath of the Wild. Reuse this amazing engine, these beautiful graphics, the exact same graphics, I don't care, the exact same enemies, but then build something brand new out of that, as they did with Majora's Mask. Now, what could this thing be? I certainly don't want to be playing in the exact same landscape again, so they have to rebuild a brand new overworld. How would that work? Well, from my perspective, when I was playing Breath of the Wild and they were talking about how you see that mountain, you can go to that mountain, and you can climb that mountain, you can explore anything that you can physically see, that wasn't exactly the case. Up north, we could see that beyond the ocean, or whatever that body of water was, there was this whole other vast landscape. And if my original theory that this Breath of the Wild area is the original Legend of Zelda 1's massive area, what's north of the Legend of Zelda 1's massive area? It's Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link's whole northern and eastern Hyrule. So why not let us go explore that new landscape once again in whatever the sequel is? That would be a lot of fun. And I mean, I wouldn't even feel too bad if they just went ahead and reused the whole shrine idea and just had that whole new landscape littered with shrines that we had to uncover and find. I wouldn't mind. I love that whole aspect. If I could replay a new version of the game with a new landscape, because that's part of the whole fun of Breath of the Wild, really, was discovering this whole new landscape and seeing it all unfold bit by bit. If we could do that in a whole new landscape, I would gladly pay another $60 whatever for that. But anyways, that's just my 2 cents, my 2 rupees, if you will. Let me know in the comments down below what you want from the next Zelda game. Do you think they should scrap it, Breath of the Wild, and start with something brand new? Or should they do what they did with Majora's Mask and just take Breath of the Wild and all of the assets, the engine, the characters, the character models, absolutely everything, and then make a brand new game out of that? It sure would reduce development time, that's for sure. But anyways, that's just what I'm thinking. I'm not sure when I'll have another of these type of videos, but what I do know is I will do more streaming. I will finish the Minish Cap. So yeah, stay tuned for that. In fact, I already have recorded months ago 2 videos that I never published. But anyways, I'm sure I will publish those by the time you see this video, or set them to be published shortly after this one. See you guys in the next video. Until then, bye guys.